Welcome to the Christmas Connection, where the magic of the season comes alive. Join your host, Dawn Mack, as she connects you to the heart of the holidays. From cherished traditions and inspiring stories to conversations with the people who make this time of year truly special. So grab a cup of cocoa, get comfy by the tree, and let's celebrate the joy of the season together. This is the Christmas Connection.
Hello and welcome to this installment episode of the Christmas Connection. And I am your host, Dawn Mack. And we are bringing you a brand new podcast that we think you are absolutely going to love. It is all about Christmas. So if you are one of those people like myself that absolutely loves this time of year, then this podcast is just for you. Now, you may recognize my voice from another podcast where I'm co-host called Christmas Movies Spotlight, and I co-host that podcast with my friend Pam, and we interview a lot of actors and authors and various people, but primarily actors that are starring in the holiday movies that come out from year to year. And our podcast is now in season 6. So on this podcast, you won't be hearing repeat interviews from those folks per se, because after all, go tune into Christmas Movie Spotlight for that content. But here we're going to be talking about Christmas traditions, brand new music that is coming out for the season. We'll even talk about some of the movies that we've seen, but we're also going to have some great interviews from some authors who are releasing Christmas novels for this time of year and some other pieces of interest that we think you are absolutely going to enjoy. And we'll have different interviews with different people of interest for the season. Now, this will be a seasonal podcast, and when you're not listening to the seasonal podcast of the Christmas Connection, hosted by yours truly, you can catch me hosting Behind the Mic Media, which is another podcast, which is a real year-round podcast, as I said. And I'm going to be interviewing a little bit of everybody, authors, musicians, actors, people of interest. And it's just going to be a great culmination of a who's who in all those industries and some interesting content that I'll be bringing your way along the way. So we, in this first installment, we're going to talk a little bit about the holiday season. Now, for some, the holiday season kicks off September 1 at the first hint or semblance or mention of pumpkin spice. When people go and buy that first or drink that first pumpkin spice latte, that is when their holiday season begins. And people tend to get excited and and just really start ramping up to the holiday season. Then there are those who are like, October 1 is the holiday season kickoff. And, Halloween is kind of considered part of it. And so from October 1 until January 1, you're just all about the holidays, no matter what the holiday is, right? And then there are those who are like, their heels are dug in. I'm not decorating for Christmas until after Thanksgiving. That's tradition. That's the way it ought to be. And so you have that. And then you have those who are December 1 to December 26th, maybe till the first of the new year if you're lucky, or they may put up their tree the day before. But no matter when you begin and kick off the holiday season, this podcast is for you because we're going to cover it all. We're not just going to focus solely on Christmas, but we're going to cover also, Halloween and Thanksgiving and even New Year's. And it'll be a weekly show and you'll get to hear from yours truly. It won't be a long podcast because I don't want to keep you too long each week. This is a very busy time of year for everyone, but we definitely want to put a little something out there to give you something to think about each and every week. So, have you officially kicked off your holiday season yet? I know in my house I have, and I've got it all decorated for fall right now. But I have to say, come November 1st, I'm going to be that person that puts up the tree, starts decking the halls, fall stuff comes down, Halloween is over, and here we go, full on Christmas. Now, admittedly, I'm already listening to Christmas music, and I know many people do. I mean, I start kind of late August, early September, kind of toying with the idea of listening, and I'll kind of go back to traditional music. And then once October hits, it's like 24/7 Christmas music for me. And I'm the kind of person that I love it as we're building up to the big day, right? But the day of and the day after, I'm ready to get back to normal music. I've had my fill of Christmas music at that point, and I'm just over it as much as I love it. But I feel like, okay, here we are. We're at the end of the season now. And that's always debatable, right? Because the new year, the when the official Christmas season ends, some people think it's, December 26th, some people say January 1, and even some people go as far into the new year, like 12 days, I think, where they're doing the 12 days of Christmas and, it extends in. So, whatever your belief system, I don't think there's any wrong answer for this time of year. Everybody, it's like to each his own. If you want to put up your tree now, do it. In fact, I have a small little tree. It's about five, maybe not quite 5 feet tall, maybe 4.5 feet tall, that is in my bedroom at this time. I just couldn't wait any longer. It's got white lights on it. It looks real woodsy. It's got a great wood base to it that makes it look like it was cut down out of the woods. And bought that thing a couple years ago and absolutely love it. And so it's kind of the first thing that I put up for the season. Um, to just kind of say I put something out, but I try to pay homage to fall through Halloween, and then we go full on Christmas. Now, you might have noticed in the last week or so that the networks are really starting to ramp up their holiday programming. Now, I know on what was it, October 10th, Great American Family Network, they kicked off their Christmas season, which was the earliest they had done that to date in the 5 years that they have been around. And they kicked it off with a Wisconsin Christmas pie um, holiday movie. It was the kickoff to their season. And I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to. I can't wait. And also over on Hallmark Channel last weekend, they had, if you will, the third installment of the Haul Out series, which this one was Haul Out the Halloween, starring Lacey Chabert, Wes Brown, Ellen Travolta. And in this installment, it included Kimberly J. Brown and her husband. And I saw that and absolutely loved it. If you have not seen that movie and you love all things Halloween and you love all the decorations and the decor and how a neighborhood looks all decked out for Halloween, you got to watch it because it does give you all the Halloween and fall feels. And of course, the cast is amazing. And having Kimberly Jane Brown in the mix along with her husband, they are known for Halloween Town fame back in the day with Debbie Reynolds, where it aired on Disney Channel. And there's quite a few Easter eggs in this movie that are a throwback to that. So for the Halloween Town fans out there, you're absolutely going to love this movie. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is a excellent movie, and it's one that I think I'm going to watch year in and year out. Every year it'll become part of the whole fall Halloween tradition for me. I don't really watch scary movies much anymore. I kind of grew out of that. Used to watch them when I was younger. Loved all of the Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, all of that, but I've since grown out of the slasher movies as I've gotten older. So things that are more, traditional and fun and, suited for children to watch, that sort of thing. Call me old fashioned, I don't know, but I enjoy that a lot more. So, if you haven't kind of kicked off your season, I'm telling you, Halloween, Haul Out the Halloween will do it for you. Now, coming up on October 17th, Hallmark Channel kicks off their countdown to Christmas for 2025, and a little bit different year for Hallmark because traditionally in years past, if you are a diehard Christmas movie junkie like myself and you're watching all the movies across all the platforms, Hallmark Channel has always led the charge between Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Mystery, where they've had upwards of like 40 movies between the two channels. Well, this year is a little bit different. They only have 24 movies, and they're going to air all the new movies on the Hallmark Channel. But on Hallmark Mystery, they're going to be airing continuous Christmas movies for the season until January 1, but it's going to be all your older movies that we've grown to know and love, a lot of favorites will be airing on Hallmark Mystery. So you want to be sure to check out the schedule on the hallmarkchannel.com page, because it'll have a listing of all the movies and when they're airing and what channels, and it's, so go check it out. But their season kicks off on the 17th, October 17th, and it's going to be a great one. And I think the plan for Hallmark this year is on Saturday and Sunday nights, they're going to premiere a brand new movie. They also have the second season of Mr. Christmas that's going to be airing on the network this year. And there's also going to be a baking show, and you'll want to be sure to check it out. So, Hallmark has kind of ventured into a little bit of the reality show genre, and so far I think it's working well for them. So you definitely want to be sure to check that out. And also, there is a movie that is airing on the 17th if you haven't seen it. I'm checking it now while we are talking. But the first season of Mistletoe Murders, which aired on Hallmark Plus, I think last year. It is going to be on Hallmark Channel, and so they're going to air it this year. I think they'll do 2 episodes an evening on Fridays, and you'll be able to catch that. But also, they have a second season that they're going to be rolling out for this year that will also be airing on the channel. So again, your best source is to go to hallmarkchannel.com to check out the schedule. Now, I mentioned earlier, Great American Family has kicked off their season, and they did so on October 10th. And they have some great movies again this year. And so, coming up on weekend number 2 on the network, they have a great movie that's premiering starring Shay Robbins and Christopher Russell. It's called A Christmas Prayer, and you definitely don't want to miss it. I've seen the previews for this movie, and it looks outstanding. Also, yesterday, I believe it was the 16th, October 16th, Lifetime released their list of holiday movies that they're going to be premiering on their network for this year. And let me tell you, folks, people, when they saw that, they were so excited. They're going to have 12 brand new holiday movies that they're going to be premiering on the channel this year. And the way they're planning to do their holiday movie review, or I should say viewing, is every Friday, Saturday night, they're going to have double headers of their premieres, brand new movies. And they are going to start their holiday movie season November 29th. So with 12 movies, they're going to be doubling up on Friday and Saturday nights, but plenty to go around. Now, for those of you who are diehard Lifetime fans, you'll need to check out the website to find out like when they're going to be airing their other holiday movies, because traditionally they've gone all Christmas until January 1 as well. But this year they're doing it a little bit different. They're going to be relying on the streaming sites to air those movies. You can catch them on the app, the Lifetime app, and online as well as the website. But I don't think they're going to be airing them on the channel 24/7 this year. But they will have movies on the weekend. So that is a little bit different programming change for them as well. Great American Family, I meant to mention, really hasn't changed how they're doing their, movie viewing for this year. I think instead of having 16 movies, they have 12 movies, which is, 4 less than years past, and this is year 5. But I can tell you, in previous years of watching their movies, the content the quality of the content is really good. And I honestly believe that, quality over quantity sometimes makes for better movies, and movies that people will watch again and again. And the Christmas movie market has been so oversaturated in the last couple of years with over 100 brand new movies across all the networks. And I can tell you from covering the movies on Christmas Movie Spotlight that it's nearly impossible to try to watch all the movies in a given season, because it's so many. It's hard to watch them all, and especially if you want to watch some of your familiar favorites that you've grown to know and love through the years, trying to fit them in too. It's an impossible feat almost. So kudos to those folks who do these podcasts who do nothing but review the holiday movies each year. You're to be commended because it is no small task. And that's not really what we have done historically on Christmas Movie Spotlight, but we have hit on movies from time to time. And, early on when we were doing that podcast, we were telling our listeners all about what the movies were, what movies were coming out each week. And it was just really, really, it was a lot to try and make sure we were covering everything. Um, but nonetheless, so I think this holiday season is going to be really good. The movies are not too much. I think everybody will be able to find something that they love. If you love holiday movies, then this season is for you and this podcast is for you because we will be talking about the holiday movies as we go along, but we'll be talking about a lot more too. One other thing I wanted to mention that I failed to mention earlier for Haul Out the Halloween, you need to go over to Christmas Movie Spotlight as they are my sister podcast. Check out the interviews we did with Ellen Travolta and also Kimberly J. Brown, who is starring in Haul Out the Halloween. Those were excellent interviews. Pam and I had such a great time interviewing those ladies, and they were just such a delight to speak with. So you definitely want to be sure to check that out when you can. Um, Also, I want to share a couple of Twitter or X accounts that I do follow pretty frequently this time of year. One is called Christmas Spirit News, and the other is Christmas Music News. And both of those accounts on X and on Blue Sky, what they do is they cover all of the new holiday music that's going to be dropping in a given season. And they'll put out links to where you can go and purchase the music. They will show the album covers and any information that they have, or any music related items, such as if an artist is going on a Christmas tour, they will post that. They will post the link where you can go and purchase tickets. They also post the posters showing the tour, the cities, the dates, the whole nine. And so I have found these two accounts on X and Blue Sky to be very informative and very helpful in trying to cover all the music that comes out. But being that this is our first podcast and today is October 18th, I wanted to give you a quick rundown of the music that is out today. So debuting today is Trisha Yearwood's brand new Christmas album. It's called Christmas Time, and this is her first release in a number of years. She released a Christmas album early on that I absolutely loved, and I have no doubt that this latest installment of Christmas music for the music lover and Trisha Yearwood fan it won't disappoint. It's gonna be great. But also, as I was perusing their timelines this morning, I learned that Kate Hudson, yes, the actress turned singer, still acting, but an amazing singer. If you've not heard her, go to YouTube and check out some of her stuff. She has released a new Christmas single called Christmas Must Be Tonight. And also Stella Cole has a new single out, her rendition of Merry Christmas Darling, that old familiar favorite from the Carpenters. I don't know about you, but there's some songs from yesteryear that when I hear them for the first time each holiday season, I am totally blown away and I feel like, okay, the season has officially begun, right? Let's see. There's also a new single today from Rosie Darling called Blue Christmas, which her rendition of that familiar favorite, and Judy Whitmore has got a single off of her brand new album, The Ghost of Christmas Past, that is releasing today. And let's see, is there anything else that you need to know? Well, let's pop over to Christmas Music News while I have you, just to see what we have going on. Okay, so brand new Christmas releases today. And if you follow these two accounts on social, they always, Christmas Music News always every Friday will, make a graphic of all the albums that are releasing, or singles rather. So Chris Blue has his brand new album out today called Every Day is Christmas. And I have listened to that and it is outstanding. And of course, as mentioned, Rosie Darling with her single Blue Christmas. Deck the Hallmark presents A Bit of Christmas. Now, if you know Deck the Hallmark, they are a podcast that originated some years ago, and they have really become quite large in the podcasting world, and especially in talking about Hallmark Christmas movies. And the thing is that makes that podcast so unique and great, it's done by three guys. So who I think two of them were kind of like bah humbug Scroogey, don't watch Christmas movies. But over time, they have kind of transitioned into, hey, this is not so bad after all. But they've made a whole podcast and they've got some great things going on. So if you get a chance, check them out on social media. It's Deck the Podcast. So they have a new Christmas single out today. Also, the Down East Boys, a Southern gospel group that I know well, love, and they have a brand new Christmas album called An Irish Christmas. Chris Rea, you remember back in the day, he had some great music out in the late 80s, early 90s. He has a Christmas album out called The Christmas Album. And last but not least, Jake Shimabukuro, and I hope I didn't butcher his last name, has a brand new album out called Tis the Season with special guests. So if you get a chance, check all of those out. That's all the new music that has dropped today. And so very, very exciting times. You want to be sure to check it out as much as you can. Also on the horizon, just to give you a little bit of background, next week we've got a brand new album from Jim Brickman coming called The Gift of Christmas Around the World. And Mickey Guyton's new album, Feel Like Christmas, will be out. Brandon Heath will have a new album called Christmas. Katie Nicole will have a Christmas EP out. Pentatonics, their brand new Christmas album, they drop a new one every year and then they go on tour and they perform all the songs. Well, this year their album is called Christmas in the City. They've already released the first single called Bah Humbug, which, by the way, I don't think my friend Pam has heard that, but if you've listened to our podcast, Christmas Movie Spotlight, you know that we always have a running joke about her bah humbug self. She's come a long way in 6 seasons, but still a little ways to go. And also, brand new music next week coming from Tommy Prophet, The Birth of a King, the instrumentals. Straight No Chaser is going to have a new holiday album out called Holiday Road, and Hope of the Season from the Tabernacle Choir. So lots to look forward to. And also, that's courtesy of Christmas Music News. Every week they update their list of holiday music that they've compiled and keep updating as the season unfolds. And they'll list the release dates and the artists that are going to be. So check it out. You can find that on their X account, Christmas Music News. So we have got lots of great things that we're going to be doing here. We're going to have our very first episode interview, I should say, coming up in a couple of weeks that you won't want to miss, and be watching our social media because we'll be promoting out about that. We're not going to give any spoilers away at this time, but definitely want to alert you to that. And also, there will be some Christmas artists or authors or what have you, Christmas content that we'll be doing on our Behind the Mic Media podcast. And so if it airs on there first, you can find it on our podcast here, The Christmas Connection, the following day. Now, next year, we hope to because we kind of got this started a little bit late in the season for when we traditionally start working on Christmas stuff. We didn't really have time to kind of line up some of those guests for our podcast here. And we're already at work on the Behind the Mic. So that's the reason why you'll hear them the next day on the Christmas Connection. But next year and moving forward, that should change. So we're looking forward to that. Well, I think that is about all the time we have. Don't want to bore you to death for too long, but just want to give you a little bit of an overview of what you can expect moving forward. You'll get a brand new episode every week. You'll just need to follow us everywhere you follow podcasts and listen to podcasts, because we'll be on every single platform. And watch our social media. Follow us and like us. Share the content. Let your friends know about us, because we're very excited about all the things that we have going on. And lots to come over this holiday season and beyond. And we don't want you to miss a single minute. So that is going to do it for this episode. I'm Dawn Mack. So glad to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. And you know what? Merry Christmas, because after all, the holidays are here. Until next time, folks, take care.
Thanks for joining us for another heartwarming episode of The Christmas Connection with your host, Dawn Mack. Stay connected with us all season long at ChristmasConnects.com. Follow us on social media, on Facebook at The Christmas Connection, on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Christmas Connection Podcast, on Blue Sky at Christmas Connects, and on X at TCC_XMASPOD. From our hearts to yours, thank you for letting us be part of your holiday season. Until next time, keep believing, keep sharing the joy, and keep that Christmas spirit shining bright.